So we played. Now the music that we had was written, produced, and performed by none other than the Hoff. And so this lady Rivka, she says, we can do without the demonic music. It's not even funny, guys. It takes away the believability and truth of your vids. So I wrote back and I said, okay, well, while we're talking about it, what exactly makes music demonic? And she wrote back and she said, certain tones and frequencies. You should do some research on it sometime. Thank you very much for that. There are certain tones and frequencies that heal and rejuvenate, and certain ones that tear down and cause decay. Makes sense. Good frequencies equals Yod-He Vav-He equals creation. Destructive frequencies equals Ha-Satan equals decay and death. And then
Is that gematria?
I guess so. I don't. Yes, I would assume so. But then she gives this this website link. Normally, I don't allow links on my on my YouTube page. However, this one was just so good, I left it up there. It's called InsideRockMusic.com, and oh boy, it's a doozy. I don't think the internet was around in 1975. However, if it were, then I would say that 1975 called they want their website back. It's interesting to say the least. So let's talk about this for just a second. Dad, weigh in on this. What do you think? Should we see like this? I know we have screamo music now as like a thing, and like
Screamo?
Yeah, screamo music, like where the singer doesn't sing, he screams instead, and there's like like. I don't know.
I think that's what my Hoff Goes Off theme is.
Yes, it's made after that style of music. Hard rock. I don't know what would you call like. Yeah. Anyway, so is this kind of music demonic?
Well, our position is we go back to the scriptures. Did they have music at the time of the scriptures being written? Absolutely. There was all kinds of music, and there was music that was played. And so forth in pagan surroundings and pagan temples, and there was music, of course, that was played in the tabernacle and as well as in the temples. So if there were a demonic aspect to certain frequencies, then you would have to believe that in the progressive revelation of the scriptures, we would be warned about if those frequencies are whatever. But when I was in college as a music major, I had to write a paper for one of the classes I was in, and I had read or heard, I guess more or less, something from the Basic Youth Conflicts that put out saying that they went to a concerts and they watched when the music got loud or when it got when the rhythm was very heavy. It was close to the heartbeat and so on and so on, and they recognized that it caused the people to do things that they weren't doing before. And so they came to the conclusion
wait, would that be called dancing?
Well, they said that even what we might call non-ethical issues, like when certain music came on, everybody went to get food. When certain music came on, everybody went, or more people went to the restroom. Those kinds of things. So they're saying that they were saying that music could stimulate something within you, and unbeknownst to yourself, you're being controlled by the frequency of the music and by the beat of the music. Now, without getting too technical here, what is music? Music is tone put against rhythm. Okay? That's the general view of music. Okay? Is there any indication that certain frequencies are better than others? Absolutely not. Now, we know that very high frequencies hurt our ears, sometimes very low frequencies hurt our ears, et cetera, et cetera. The Israeli forces have experimented with guns that were made that are a frequency gun and so forth and so on. There's no doubt that certain frequencies are more likable than others. But is there anything demonic about it? No. The answer is no. And if it were, then you would have to say, well, are the high strings on a violin worse than the lowest note on a tuba? or on a double bass, and so forth and so on. No, what makes music sacred, or that is worshipful, or able to be given glory to God, is first and foremost the words, if there are words that go with it, and secondly is the context in which it is played. You can have a Beethoven symphony played in a situation where everybody's on drugs and everybody's doing whatever, and it can be a very terrible situation. Okay. On the other hand, you could play a Sousa march, and you wouldn't play the Sousa march at the beginning of your time, your worship time together as a community, unless, of course, you're all part of a military contingency and a Sousa march. So the point that I'm making is this: there's absolutely nothing in the scriptures that would indicate that sound by itself is demonic, or that rhythm is demonic. And all of this is very socially controlled. As many of you may know, Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, who was a believer, who regularly penned on his music Sola Gloria and for the glory of God alone, and so forth. And he was dismissed from Geneva for having played something written something for a cantata in 2/4 rather than 3/4. And the reason was is because the powers that be determined that music that was in 3/4 extolled the Trinity, music that was in 2/4, 2 beats to the measure, was somehow undermining the Trinity.
Wow.
And
So like numerology, there's like a,
yeah,
a numerology.
The gematria.
Tim, I appreciate what your point is, and to take it back to our tongue-in-cheek, tone that we knowingly take at in the Rob and Caleb show, we're definitely not trying to encourage people to listen to music that is ungodly or anything like that. We're not going to take ourselves so
too seriously. Yeah.
We want to allow people to laugh a little bit and lighten up a little bit. And I think with a little bit of of that lightheartedness, we can just kind of let go of some of the seriousness out there. I think people are getting too serious about things, and they're the wrong things to be serious about.
Yeah.
right.
And I think one of the things that we're trying to do in terms of what's the context of some of the music little sound bites we play is that it's the context of we're going to laugh at it's not because we don't take our point, the theological and doctrinal points that we want to make. We're not budging on those, but we're also going to have a little bit of fun around the edges and because I think that's important.
Well, when it comes to what Rivka's comments and even this whole website. Now, I read some of this website that she sent over. They don't reference anything in the Bible about tones. Obviously, because there's nothing there. And so I have to go back to exactly what you said, Dad, at the beginning, which is show me in the Bible where it says that. You can't just say that something is wrong. Show me in the Bible where it says that it's wrong.